Hello again, and welcome back to the Let's Play of Rhovanion, 4th Age Total War Dominion of Men. And this is Wombat, or Rambat, as you prefer. In the last episode, we were just about to conclude Turn 3. I did review the footage on that and realized that I neglected to do one thing that I usually like to do, and I think part of the reason I forgot about it in this game was because I've got so few settlements to begin with. But one of the things I usually like to do is open up my settlements overviews before ending a turn, and I'll just put everything in public order using the public order column to organize. And the reason I do that is because it's helpful in making sure that you can squeeze out as much tax money as you can from those settlements where you want to do so. In this case, we've got Rhovanion here at 90%. Now, most of the tax levels will have an impact of 20% on your happiness. The exception is the step between lowest and normal tax level. Low income tax rate and normal tax rate is a 30% difference. The others are 20%. So whenever you see something that's 90% on your list, then there's a chance you can increase taxes there. And in this case, because I've got a bit of a larger garrison at this Rhovanion now, since I've traded it off with the spearmen here, who are a larger unit, I can squeeze a little more tax income out of this settlement to high tax rate. That doesn't mean I'll lose a few more citizens, but only about 7 people. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about having income right now. Alrighty, and let me see. All of my agents have moved, and all of my military forces have moved. Alright, so we're ready to end turn. Now what may happen here is that Belegant may attack these stacks that are adjacent to it, but they can easily, if that happens, I'll just accept the battle, but then I'll have my men retreat from the field, and that will ensure that they go back pretty far away, and the Rhovanion forces probably won't be able to follow and attack. And if they do, they're going to leave some part of their forces in Belegant still. So there's a decent chance that I'll be able to win an engagement with the smaller force that they send out in pursuit. Alrighty, so I'm going to hit end season. Northrend doing some stuff here. And there was no attacks. Well, that's nice. I'll go ahead and save. This will be the first save for turn 4. Check our news here. Doing quite well financially. I wasn't expecting to do quite this well financially, especially so early on. I'm not really investing a lot in projects and so forth. I'm starting out with the lowest end projects, and my army is exceptionally cheap, so I'm sure things will get tighter as the campaign progresses. Finished a project here. No governor here, so I can't hope for discounts, but I'm going to keep building things because I've got plenty of money right now. And I'm going to go with herbalist so I can get my population to increase. It also gives me a public order increase, so it's a double benefit. Probably one of the best investments that I can make at this point. Let's see, that was the only building, the only project completed. Go to recruitment. Oh, look at there. The king has finally gotten to his 50% discount already. I wonder if that's because he's attuned. No, he's not even attuned yet. And we've already got these guys down to the lowest cost possible, at 50%. We're going to go ahead and take all these guys out of the queue, because as you'll recall, they were queued up at a higher rate. It was like 240 or something like that. So this, we're going to recoup some of the cost. And I'm not going to bother queuing up extra units because I can just keep queuing them up one at a time. And by having them in my population here, they're going to increase the amount of income I get from my taxes, because your taxes are based on your population, and the smaller your population, the more influential each citizen is to how much taxes you're bringing in. I'll just point that out. Right now I've got 1435 for my taxes in the settlement. If I add another troop there, it goes down 1427. If I were to queue all of these guys up, you can see what? My income taxes go up? Well, then now that's a surprise. That's not what I was expecting. I must have hit another, just like with population growth, wow, well, this is curious. I never really investigated this factor. But just as with population growth, you get peaks and troughs as they progress. Like it'll be, on the whole, a progression. It might be, how do you say, a decreasing progression. I don't have good mathematical terms coming to mind here, but there. Anyway, let's just investigate this phenomenon. So, when we first started queuing up guys, how much taxes we were taking in was going down, but at some point it goes up. Let's find out where that point is. There it is. And from 13 something to 1580, 1392 to 1580. What? 1000. Ah, that's the point at which it changed. The calculation changed there at 1000. Well, we're going to take advantage of that. I always take advantage of every little thing that I can when I do a campaign. Well, you learn something new every day. We'll have to write a guide. Somebody out there, I don't know if I'll have the time, but a guide on all these little... Actually, there's already a guide out. I think I referenced it in one of the guides that are currently on the forums. You can find the forum link in the description below. But the Total War forums, and I'll probably put a link on the video at this point if I can remember to do so. But long ago, somebody wrote up a city maintenance guide, or it's just a guide to all the different factors in running a city in Rome Total War. And it was written specifically for Rome Total War, the original version of the game engine. But almost all the city mechanics, they're hard-coded things, so they haven't really changed. So you can benefit a lot from this guide. I'm gonna try to remember to make a link to it. Because now that I think about it, when he gave the person who did that guide gave the details on taxes, I mean this sort of thing was apparent, because there are points along the population scale where the calculation changes, and that's why you get these peaks here, just below 1000. Okay, let's go to our other places and see if we can take advantage of that. Rathwin. This is down to 432. I think that is where we were before, if not lower. So we'll probably go ahead and take this guy out, but let's take a look at the income again. 654, and if we add a guy, 647, add another one. Okay, it's just going down. I think, yeah, we're not gonna work on this settlement for some reason. Oh well. Well, actually, let's just fill up the queue and see what happens. Yeah, we're not gonna get that this time. Well, it's cool that we saw that on the other one. Gets me like a little under an extra 100 million Every bit counts. Oh, and then you'll also see the emissary here has gone down in cost. Base cost 400. And is this guy attuned? He might already be attuned because he's an adept governor, intelligent, and all of that. He's not attuned yet, so once he gets attuned, things will go down even below what they are here. And this construction cost, this is lower than it was before. This is lower than it was in the first turn, as I recall. But I'm not going to take this herbalist out because he's already halfway done, and I want that to complete. So we'll take advantage of building next turn. Once he gets to like a tuned level, if I have enough funds to feel comfortable to do so, I'll go ahead and queue up a lot of projects all at once, just in case you know, he dies for whatever reason. Then I'll have that discount preserved in his building queue. Okay, and then we'll go up here, get some more of our emissaries queued up. Oh, that's right, I already did that. I was like, when did I put this in here? It was the first thing I did. Okay. Well, so the next thing I like to do is work on my diplomacy. I'll go ahead and save before I start doing stuff. And that's just, you know, in case things crash, as they do when I'm trying to record, because my computer is really bad, and this is taxing it to the extreme. I want to save just that beginning chunk so I don't have to, first of all, do my voiceover all over again, and second of all, end up forgetting to do something that I had done before, you know, because you think, oh, I did that already, but no, you didn't. That was before the crash. Well, there goes 20 minutes of recording time, but that's why we save, isn't it? Okay, I believe I was just going to do my diplomacy. So start with Yornings. Okay. Put that. Go to. Decided to send this agent south to contact the dwarves here, because that way I can send this agent just more directly towards Rune, rather than stopping at the dwarven settlement here.
Your Honor, I shall speak with them at once.
Okay. I'm going to get some money out of them to attack Rhovanion. I'm only going to be able to do this once this turn, because Rhovanion didn't send out any units. Oh man. They're probably pissed off that I allied with North Rune. Let's see if I can get 400 out of them. Okay. I'll just be besieging Rhovanion.
At once. I shall speak with them at once.
Let's see, attack. Very nice. Okay.
Orders, Captain.
I'm gonna check to see if they have any mercenaries up here. None. Okay.
Captain.
I'm just going to attack from directly from the west. That way, if Rhovanion does sally, I will be able to make an effective retreat and not lose any men, because I'll be retreating straight towards the edge rather than having to retreat towards a corner of the battle map. I'm just going to keep piling on everybody I can into the siege force. I really don't want them to sally. I want to be able to do a normal assault on the settlement, because it's a lot easier to control things if you do that. One of the things I keep forgetting to do is take off this damn battle timer. Game options. I don't like to play with that timer anymore. I used to for a long time, but I decided that it was better to have it just off. There are different situations where it's more advantageous to the human player to have it on or off. If you have the battle timer on, it basically means that a human player can win almost any field battle he wants to, if he's defensive, in a defensive position, just by hiding a unit somewhere on the map and waiting out the battle timer. The AI doesn't know how to find you, and once the timer runs out, you'll have won the battle. And you can, like, block off an entire front with 2 units. You can't hide a lieutenant or general, so you have to have 2 units. On the other hand, it's more advantageous to the player to have the timer off for things like doing a settlement assault, because you don't have to worry about the battle timer running out on you and failing the assault. So if you wanted to make it give the AI the most advantage possible, you would always change from battle timer to not battle timer, depending on the circumstances. If you're defending in a field battle, you should have it off. If you're assaulting a settlement, you'd want it on. But the fact is, I'm not going to remember to change it each time. It's just ridiculous to try to remember that. So I figured the best solution, cutting the Gordian knot, is just go with the no battle timer, and I feel that's the most fair all around, and it gives, as a one-click solution, results the least advantage to the human player. So that's the way I like to go with it, and it's more realistic too. I mean, honestly, who's going to give up after 45 minutes trying to capture a settlement? You know, historically, sieges would last for years, battles would last for a day or more. So, yeah. At any rate, that's the setting I'm comfortable with. The problem, of course, is always just remembering to make the setting. Okay, we have any more units that'll reach here? Nope. Let me check to see what I'm going to be able to build. 170, these are each 65, so that's 130, so I'll be able to just build 2 siege towers. That's as much as I can do. So that'll be better than nothing. Containing... nobody else can get close enough. I'll just move all these units, and that'll be pretty much everything I can do for my turn. Okay. This guy's got a unit. Let's see, I already did this. Good. Let's check to see. Oh, actually, I did that in my last. At 20 minutes I lost. I checked over here. There aren't any mercenaries. Don't bother. Okay. Do I want to pursue this? I think what I'm going to do is send this guy up here. Yeah. I send him up here. Next turn he's going to be able to make contact with both Dale and the dwarves up here, and might even have enough movement to make contact with elves, especially if they've got a unit down here. A lot of times the elves will position a unit in the woods in this path, and so making contact with the elves will be good. The more of these western aligned factions I can make contact with, the more money I can get from initiating combat. Yes. And this guy, since my next emissary I make is going to be able to reach the Bjornings, I'm just going to send this guy south so he can start making contact with some of the southern other factions available down here in the south.
Without delay, moves depleted.
Let's see, we've got that emissary queued, this one queued. Computer sounding like it wants to melt, so I'm saving. Okay, and
Waiting your command.
how do I want to do this? This guy's going down towards Rune.
Noble master.
He makes some good progress. He'll be able to make contact next turn, probably. Should have done that
No
slower.
moves, sir.
You never know if there's going to be a stack somewhere close by you can do contact with. So it's worth that while when you're exposing things to let it go slow. And the movement goes slowly. Not sure which direction I want to go with this guy. There's a lot of factions over in this area that I want to make contact with as early as possible, because they'll be Western, Ways of the West factions that I can get money off of. I'm kind of wanting to send, but on the other hand, I do. Hard to make decisions. I'm going to keep this guy going in this direction, just because he's already started in that direction. Oh, let me see what my scout can do here. Can we get a decent 75? I'm not doing that, it's too risky. I know I wouldn't be able to wouldn't be able to get into Bellicant. It's not skilled enough. Ooh, here we go, 100%. That is perfect. Okay. Let's see if I can add another eyeball onto his ranking.
Spying.
That's 2 eyeballs right there. We got it. Look at these hireling guards, I remember them. I remember how expensive you guys are. Look at that kind of upkeep. Look at the upkeep on that compared to my units. Very easy. Okay, 2 eyeballs. That's good. Very nice. So, with any luck, I can get him skilled enough that he can start getting me into these walled settlements without me having to besiege them. Alrighty.
Sir.
So where do we want this guy to go? We don't really need him here anymore, since Belligant isn't sending out units. What I'm going to do is start sending him down south here. I want to see what's going on with these territories, see if they're getting encroached upon by Adunambar and such yet. Plus, there are a lot of IP troops are going to be in this area in stacks, so that could give me some good opportunities to infiltrate and increase my spy. Like I got 93 percentile to infiltrate these settlements, so I definitely want to try to do that so we can get some more rankings. Okay, and I'm just going to keep moving this guy southwards.
Out of moves.
Who else do I have to move? Let's check my scrolls here. This guy.
Waiting your command.
Well, what do we want to do with him? He doesn't need to move in this direction, because I'm going to have this fellow talking to Dale. He can just be my North Rune guy, and I'll have him start exposing some of these North Rune settlements so I can keep an eye on things. I can go here.
Your honor. No more moves, sir.
Okay, that's all my agents. My settlements. Everybody's got tax level I want them to have. It's good. Just checking on how happy my one nobleman is with me. The only guy that can be unhappy, and of course he is. It's probably just because we haven't gone very far in the campaign. I'm sure he'll improve presently, but it is cool that he's got you know, positive discounts on things, even being discourteous and having those disadvantages. So once he becomes, you know, happy and supportive, things are going to be even better. I'm getting paranoid now since I lost that 20 minutes. Every time I check my recording, it shows that CPU usage is only at 8%. It's just really depressing that I can't handle that kind of usage for more than 10 minutes or so reliably. Let's see, did we check our armies? Let's see if we forgot to move any armies. They're all moved. Okay, so that was a pretty simple 4th turn. Save at the end of the turn. I'm going to keep this episode going until I can get a battle in, which should be next turn when I assault Belegant, or perhaps if they sally. Let's see what happens. No, oh, what happened? I have no idea what happened there. Thought they were sallying for a moment, but they didn't. Okay, that's good. I'm glad. Alrighty, let's go ahead and save. Now on turn 5, things are moving fast. I know it doesn't seem that way. This is probably not fast by any other LP or standards. And I did tell people when they were telling me that they wanted me to do an LP, look, this is going to be like watching paint dry. This is how I play. I mean, I'm kind of speeding myself up here to try and get some semblance of entertainment value. But I do not play this game fast. That's one of the reasons why I play it well. Alrighty. So, still got 880. Are we attuned yet? How long does it take to get attuned, man? Not attuned yet. Let's see, let's look at that, the income taxes again. See what goes on if I move stuff around. Huh. Okay. But do I want to do that? Right now, even though this is getting me more income, it is sacrificing some population growth, because 5% of 9,000, or 900 rather, is less than 0.5% of 1,300. So I'll be losing more than 100 million, but I kind of feel like I want to keep this population growth going. Alright. Well, on the other hand, I'm probably only going to keep my king here as governor until I can get another governor in. Once that other governor's in, I'll be bringing this population, I'll be bringing it down to local governance and growth policy, as I do for all of my governors that are not either the king or the heir, because it's really the only thing that you can do to try and keep up your support from your governors. I mean, everything else is kind of out of your control. What do I want to build next? I'm probably just going to stick with whatever's cheapest and get my open policy. Because the longer he's governor, the more likely costs are going to go down. So the discounts that I get are going to be more impressive with the higher ticket items, and we'll leave them to last. Okay, and I'm going to go with financial policy first here, and then military policy later. And here, ooh, this is a homeland. Okay, and yet it's not as good, and yet my hosting halls are not as good, even though it's a homeland. That's curious. I was thinking it'd be a fiefdom, maybe. Okay, well, that kind of suggests that if I get a fiefdom, I'm not even going to be able to recruit all of these things. And maybe I'll get some, like, you know, what do you call them, outland recruiting options. Okay, for fiefdoms or outlands. Well, we'll just see how it develops. Yeah, let's go ahead and queue this up. Not too, oh, that's really cheap. When I was doing my Elven campaign, we were looking at like over 10,000. But well, homelands might just be cheaper anyway. Okay. And look at that. Public order went up another 20, so we're going to pop up the taxes another notch. Very nice. Okay. And can we get any recruitment here?
Orders?
No. What about over here?
Sir! March!
Nope. What about here?
Forward!
No. Alright. Go back. Oh, let's go ahead and... Oh, did we... Shoot, did I forget to queue them up? Damn, I forgot to move them last turn. Urgh, I hate it when I forget to move stuff. Ah. Okay. Build another... Oh, look at how cheap that is now. He must be attuned now. Let me check. He's not attuned. Okay, so he's dubious now. So that must be an improvement on last turn. That's where we're getting the increase discount from. Let's see, make another emissary. Did I remember to play emissary? I did, okay. And this emissary. It's not healthy how pissed off I am that I forgot to move that unit. I'm sure it's going to make no difference whatsoever in the campaign, but I always try to play these perfect campaigns. These two peoples are now at war. Herod and Hrondir. Oh, how little I care. Okay. Let's save and then we can do our diplomacy. One of the things that I did notice in editing the episodes I've done so far is that the music in the background is not consistently on, and it is very nice music. So I wish I could, wish I knew how to make it run all the time instead of just occasionally, as it does. Oh, okay, we're doing diplomacy now. All right, let's go get some money off the earnings.
Awaiting your command. I shall speak with them at once.
How would you like me to attack Rhovanion? I bet you just love that. Would you love it? 500? Yay! Okay. And then... here... Hey Dale, remember me? Why you gotta be so stingy? Let's see if I'll go for 300. Okay. Maybe the dwarves will give me the full 500 this time.
Without delay. I shall speak with them at once.
Very nice, thank you. Okay, and look at this. We can easily reach the elves. We're definitely going to do that.
Without delay. Without delay.
We got some elves in these
Without
woods.
delay. Without delay. At once.
Huh. Don't have any units waiting.
Without delay.
Get there, please let me get to the city.
That's
Looks like I
not
can.
possible, sir.
Hey, how you doing? How would you like to trade map information? They only want trade rights. Well, can you... Let's see if they'll give me 100 for trade rights. Yeah, they will. Alright. Let me see if you'll pay me to attack Rhovanion. I know you want to. Come on, you got a whole elven horde in there. Give me some. Ah, cheap again. I'm gonna fight over 100 myriad. Yeah, better than nothing. Better than nothing. Okay. So having done that, who do we have left? Do we have anybody left that would help?
Awaiting your command.
Not gonna reach anybody in Rohan. Wondering if it would be better for me to go south first, because once I get into the territories here, I run into paved roads, and I can move a lot faster on paved roads. I didn't have all these issues with the campaign map in the last episode. That was the second crash I've had. Okay, well, I've done all of my diplomacy. Still have some diplomats to move, but I'm going to wait until the end of the term for that. I don't have anybody else to ask for money for this attack, so I'm going to start getting ready for my attack. I've moved all the characters I can. Dornian's about to go bye-bye, so I'm not moving any more forces back in this direction. And I'm ready to attack, so here we go. Let's see. We've got 2 siege towers and a ladder. Let's take a look at what he's got. His hunters, oh good, they've taken a little damage from the siege. That's always nice to see. Okay, isn't nearly as bad as I thought it might be. His hunters might be a problem. I think I'll be able to work around it. And only 2 nobles, so it could definitely be worse. Okay. Let's attack. And one of the things I noticed editing the last episode is that the music, especially on the campaign map, isn't always there. I really kind of like it to always be there. I don't know if there's some setting I need to change to make the music cycle more frequently, but there's long stretches where there's just no music playing. That music is really nice, so I'd like that to be showcased in my episodes. Alrighty, start deployment. So the way I fight most of these siege battles, especially if I'm dealing with a scenario where I can't just, I'm not playing the elves or something, or I can just throw my men at the enemy and have them disappear. What I do here is I try to use the settlement walls to my greatest advantage and make them an asset rather than a liability. So what I'm going to do is have most of my forces here, far enough away from the wall that I don't have to worry about archers hitting me, but I want them to know that this is the direction that I'm likely to attack from. My plan is to have all our forces here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack some other part of the wall. And the place that looks best for me to attack is right here. Most settlements of this type are going to have this bulge here, and I'll show you. I can approach this wall right here. Both these towers are facing away from each other, so nothing's going to hit my men as they come up here as long as there's no units defending this wall. So that's where I'm going to begin the capture of the walls. I'm not going to send these guys really far in that direction. I'm going to let them walk. I've got the timer off, so I've got all the time in the world to do that. And don't worry, I'll trim it down so you don't have to watch all the boring parts. But yeah, I don't want them setting up units on the walls anywhere except sort of concentrated right here. Because I want to be able to capture as much of the walls as I can without having to fight anybody for them. Okay, let's start. Alright, well, my plan has worked so far. You can see they're all concentrated right here on this side of the wall. And we actually have quite a few units just actually on the wall, which is good. This helps me control things better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start sending these guys down to that end. I'm actually going to probably stop the towers over here and have the ladders go further than the towers, because towers, I'm not really going to use them to capture walls. I'm just going to use the firepower that they give my units that are, as you can see, the units that are holding them. Oh crap, this is not the unit I'm holding them. Well, we can change that up. Okay. Get these guys over here. They're eventually going to move over there. And we're going to set things up. Should have done a little more preparation before I deployed. Make sure everything's off, fire at will. I don't want any ammunition wasted. I've got to take out the entire enemy force with ranged attacks if I'm able, so I don't lose any men of my own. So I don't want to waste a single arrow if I can help it. Okay. These two guys are going to need to set up just about right here. This is one of my favorite attack vectors for these barbarian-style cities. So that's where I plan to set up my units for their slaughter of the enemy. Okay, let's see these guys over here now. They're out of range, being attacked. And a lot of people I have trouble with settlement assaults. They try to avoid them because they lose men. And actually get some of the best possible results from settlement battles just because it is far easier to control what's happening. This is especially so if you have the timer off, but even if you have the timer on, I use pretty much these same tactics for years when I would still have the timer in use. Back like when I was playing TNS, the New Shadow, the previous version of this mod. So it's definitely a tactic you can use even on very large city settlements. Okay. I'm not going to approach these walls until we've captured the towers. Actually, do we only have these one foresters? We do, don't we? That sucks. Okay, well, let me send forward these guys. I want to have 2 units on the walls because one of them's going to have to capture in one direction and the other one will capture in the other direction. So I'm going to have these guys ready to do so. And one of the reasons I'm picking these Rhovanion bowmen to do it is because they can be retrained here in this settlement that I'm taking. I learned that from my Dwarven campaign where I retrained quite a few of these Rhovanion bowman mercenaries at Belegant. But basically, within each mercenary recruitment zone, you're going to have, I would say, at least one chief settlement, and they're the ones with the little blue flags, and they will be able to retrain any of the mercenaries that are hireable in that mercenary zone. I'm not sure. I don't think you can hire these slingers in the Rhovanion territory, which is unfortunate because they're one of my one of the mercenaries that I highly value. Even though it's kind of hard to have lots of them in your stack because they need sort of room to be used properly. So if you got like 5 units of them, it makes it more difficult to make the most use out of them. Whereas with bowmen, you can really stack as many as you want into a stack and still be able to use them pretty well, as long as you can give them some sort of screen from other units, from other infantry or cavalry. Alrighty, I'm trying to get myself a direct approach to this segment of the wall, so I'm not coming under fire at any point by the towers. I'm bringing up these mercenary bowmen to follow. What I'm going to do is send my foresters around the long way here to capture these areas of the wall. Even though I'm not going to be approaching from those areas of the wall, it's valuable to capture them if you have the time to do so, because other units will be drawn off to guard the gates that you've captured. Just one of the things the AI likes to do. And those units are going to get all shot up by the guard towers at those gates. So that's one less unit for me to have to try to take down with my ranged fire, which is good because those 2 Dornian bodyguard units are probably going to absorb a lot of my firepower.
The bravest will soon be over the defenses.
Oh, this is very nice. Okay, so as soon as I got a man on the wall here, I can start sending them in the direction I want them to go. And they're going to start running this direction. I don't care if they run, because they're not going to engage anybody directly in combat. So they don't need to be fresh
Great gods!
for any reason.
Our soldiers have done well this day.
What are these guys up here?
The walls are taken.
It's amazing how fast they move. And triple speed, so send them this a ways. One of the things I like about having so many of these Rhovanion foresters is that I don't really care if they take damage because I can retrain them anywhere that has any kind of retraining facilities. Okay, so these guys down here, once I've captured these towers, I can start bringing in my units and setting them up along the walls. Is what I'm going to do. The AI has certain thresholds for what they'll do, and I'm not sure if they calculate based on like what the power ranking of the unit is or just the number of units. As long as I bring in just one unit at a time through this gate and then put them up on the wall before sending another unit, I should be able to keep these AI units from coming down from the walls. I'm going to see if I can capture this tower right here, because eventually these guys will come down from the walls, and when they're walking this way, I want this tower to be shooting at them. So I'm going to try to capture it, but I don't want these guys to come in and interfere with my units. So if they start walking... Ah! Crap, I went too far. That's what happens when you're going fast. Let me get this guy over here. Okay, so all this area of the wall has been captured. I'm going to bring up my towers right close to the wall. I'm not going to click on the wall, like you would do if you were trying to capture them with towers. I'm just going to bring them up right here, and they're going to be part of my killing zone with their ranged attack. Right there would be good. Okay, let me see if these guys are moving. Oh, yeah, see, they are moving. But I think I'm going to move away from them fast enough that they'll stop moving in a minute. Yeah, they've already stopped. Let me see. Yep, they've stopped. Okay, now let's start getting all of these up close to the wall, just to make things go faster. Oh, let me just see what these guys are doing. Okay, they've almost gone as far as that. I'm going to send them over here. Same thing, I want to capture towers so that they shoot it at the enemy if they happen to walk by. I'll send them this far. They can probably get as far as this without having the enemy come and try to get them. And I can also then use these foresters to attack any of these units that come off the wall and then try to go back in this direction. Okay, so what happened there was, first of all, the battle did crash at the end, but also after that frame, basically the rest of the recording was just that frame. Didn't capture any more frames, so I started a new battle and recorded without commentary. So this is some post-commentary. I wanted to show you one of the reasons why I like to capture all of the walls and not just a small part of it, especially when I'm playing without the timer, is that they'll send those units off to the wall, off to the other capture gates, and if there's inward-facing towers, those units will then just get destroyed by those gates. I've got my all of my archers at this point. I've skipped some footage here since I can do that. Oh, and there you can see that unit's already destroyed. I even got a couple of the bodyguards men when they were ambling about in that area. So I've got all of my archers up on the wall now, and I'm putting my general inside. And the general is a strong enough unit that they feel like enough of my power is inside the gates that they want to start defending the ground. So they're sending their units down off the walls, and therefore I need to run my own foresters here to capture the rest of these walls to make sure that they're firing at the men as they leave the area and head towards the town center. And I also want to use my javelins or throwing spears to take out some of these hunters.